Joining me today is UFC flyweight Matt Schnell, who now takes on Rogerio Bontorin at UFC 262. Matt, how's it going?
Everything's good. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And of course, you were originally scheduled to fight Alex Perez. When did you find out that Perez was out?
I think that was last Wednesday. I was actually in between my sparring rounds, and yeah, we got the news. So I did finish my rounds, but that was tough news to take at the time.
What was the process like? Was it quick for them to get you a replacement opponent? Were you telling them, like, I want to stay on the card? Like, what was that process like of getting you a new opponent?
Yeah, they were great. Mick was on it immediately. He kind of shuffled quite a few names at me, and I kind of said, "Yeah, let's do it." So Bontarin was the one that stuck. So that's the fight.
And I know he's ranked in the top 10, but it was part of you disappointed that you didn't get Perez. He's coming off of that title fight and higher ranked.
Absolutely, and originally when the Alex Perez fight was made, that wasn't necessarily the fight that I wanted. But I was up for a new contract. They offered me a new deal that we really liked, and when you sign the new deal, you take the fights they offer you. So we said yes to Alex Perez, and preparation has been tough, but we've put in the work. So yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow there, getting the news that it wasn't going to be Perez because at this point I felt that I put in the preparation and I was getting to feel confident.
Why do you say you didn't want Perez? Was there another name you wanted in particular?
Yeah, I think just stylistically, Alex Perez is a tough fight for me, and that's kind of how I saw it. So if I was picking, that wasn't the one that I would pick. Is all that I'm saying. And yeah,
Yeah, all right, gotcha. And you get Rogerio Bontorin. How much did you change of your training? I mean, pretty close to the fight. Do you change a lot in your training camp? Are you the kind of guy that studies a lot of tape? At this point, do you change what you've been doing in camp, or is it just little tweaks?
yeah, I think it kind of worked out because Bontarin is stylistically somewhat similar. He's not as much of a wrestler as Alex Perez, but he does offer that grappling uh, danger. You got to be aware when he closes the distance, he's going to try and grapple. He takes it back well. So it's kind of small adjustments. We have to work on different positioning, whereas with Alex Perez, he's got different attacks and he's got a great front headlock series and he's coming at you more from a wrestling place than Bontarin is going to. So yeah, we know what we need to do, and it's a similar fight, but a different fight at the same time. So we're trying to make adjustments, but I'm in great shape. I'm ready to go.
And before we dig a little bit deeper into the Bontorin matchup, I want to talk about your win over Tyson Nam. I spoke to you right after that fight. You had that reaction in the cage when they called the split decision, like, oh, phew. But looking back, did you get a chance to rewatch that fight? And do you feel like it was as close as the judges made it out to be?
I I understand. I kind of understand. You have to really be paying attention, and I just don't know if people always necessarily are. I felt like I won all three rounds, but I know it was a close fight, and I know Tyson moved forward and he throws big shots, and when his shots land, they were big moments. My shots are more subtle and kind of add up over time. It's more like death by a thousand cuts type of thing. But I don't know. I don't know. Looking back, I felt like I won every round, but it was a close fight. Tyson did a great job. He's a great fighter.
And you go from like that was like 20% capacity crowd. Now you're gonna get a sold out crowd in Houston. So first of all, when you lost your opponent, were you thinking like, damn it, I'm gonna lose out on fighting on that card? And second of all, how excited are you, especially after seeing the Jacksonville crowd and how amped up they were?
Yeah, it's exciting. That was one of the main disappointments with losing the Alex Perez fight. Was thinking that I wasn't going to get to fight at all. So yeah, it feels good. I get to still fight at home, and I'm excited to go out there and fight in front of a live crowd. This will be the first time for me to really fight in front of a big crowd like this, even the crowd in Abu Dhabi, 2,000 people. I've typically fought early on in cards, so I've not fought in front of large numbers of people. So yeah, I look forward to doing that. Hopefully, fighting in front of a packed house.
Yeah, because I mean the fans were out early, and we could see in the first couple of fights. I mean, I think the second fight of Jeff Molina ended up getting the fight of the night, so very early on, and I almost felt like the fighters drew from that crowd energy. Like it definitely had an impact, at least I think so. Just the excitement of having the fans back. So, are you expecting that to give you kind of that extra charge?
Yeah, I don't count on it because I think that everybody reacts differently to the crowds. Some people draw off of it. Some people allow that to draw them into a fight maybe that they wouldn't typically fight because they hear the oohs and the ahs. So for me, I just have to go out there and fight and do my best and fight hard. I can't. I can't count on that. Maybe it will. Maybe it will pull out the best in me, but I could also see it making me cause mistakes as well. So I think it is a good thing to think about, and this is a good question. But yeah, I'm gonna try not to draw into that too much.
That makes sense. And you were this past weekend commentating for American Combat Alliance, correct? I know it's not your first time to commentate. So tell me, first of all, how did you get into commentary in general? And is that something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, I think it's always been kind of the path I thought I would take. I started with those guys at AKA and Bishop Promotions. They just kind of shuffled the opportunity my way, and I've been doing it for them for a little bit now. And every show is kind of different. And even this last weekend, we worked with a production team, and there's like timing and things that I don't necessarily have just yet, but over the next couple of shows, hopefully we'll get better at it, and it's going. I think every time I do it, I'm a little better at it, but we got work to do. It's been fun. I enjoy it, and hopefully look forward to more opportunities to do other things. I'm actually commentating another show in St. Louis this weekend, so I'll be doing that.
Oh, that's awesome. And do you find it maybe a little bit of a cliche question, but do you find it like it helps you at all when you're studying fighters, having to do that kind of research in improving your game? I know these guys might not be guys you're going to fight, but just in general, just having that eye for the game, do you think that helps you at all?
Hard to say. Hard to say. At the end of the day, like I'm getting ready for a fight right now, so I'm on my way out there, and I'm trying to set up training in St. Louis, and I'm familiar with the St. Louis area, and I've trained out there before, so it won't be hard to find work. But I'm still having to get ready for my fights and things like that. I think it helps my understanding, and it's a good thing to practice because articulating what's happening in a fight is an art in itself. So I'm getting better at that, and maybe focusing on my ideas. Like trying to put into play what game plans that other guys are trying to do and trying to make my way through it. Yeah, maybe it will help me out in a fight at some point, but hard to say right now. All I know is I'm trying to scramble to get some training together.
And yeah, because I've seen you back and forth. You were at Fortis MMA, and now it makes sense. I'm assuming closer. Wait, do you reside, by the way, in Texas or Louisiana? I know you're from Louisiana.
I'm from Louisiana. I reside in Texas, though. I live
Got
in Texas.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I can understand the scrambling between training, but I've seen you at Fortis MMA. Not your first time, if I'm not mistaken. But what's that been like? I know there are a lot of great guys in the lighter weight divisions for you to train with.
Yeah, it's there's a good talented group of young up and coming guys there, guys that a lot of people don't even know, and then of course the names that people do know, Miles John, Steven Peterson. Uh, that there's a good group that Fernie, JP Bays. These are guys that are talented, and especially starting in individual positions and like working out from underneath these guys. They give me all the work that I want. And yeah, I get around quite a bit too. I train here in Houston, and we get good groups together out here. And I've always got my guys that I have continuity with, that we meet up with every day. When we get off of this, I'm gonna hit pads, and then we're jamming out to Dallas. It's Monday, go out there and grapple tonight, and tomorrow we'll spar, and I'll come back to Houston and keep on working. So full schedule this week.
Who's going to be in your corner for the fight?
It's going to be Saif Saud, Aaron Phillips, and Alex Chang, my kickboxing sensei.
Nice. And back to the Bontorin matchup. He's coming off a wild fight with Kai Kara France. What did you make of that fight? Because he had his moments, but Kara France was able to turn that around.
Yeah, Bontarin's tough. Obviously, he can close the distance. He's explosive. He looks like he's strong. He's good in that back position. You know, when he gets the back, he likes to close up that body triangle, and he looks like he's pretty difficult to shake from that spot because of his build. And you know, he's got a good understanding there. But yeah, we kind of saw what can happen. You know, scramble up, stay persistent, try to fight off the position, defend your net, get back to your feet, and he will tire, and he'll have a hard time if you can get back up from those scrambles and push back into him. So we'll see what happens. I expect to see, obviously we're doing the fight at 35, so like I imagine he'll be a little bigger, a little puffier, and I don't know exactly how well he'll be moving around. We're going to be in the full size cage out there, so I imagine I'm gonna get out there and try and make him move, try and make him cover distance. We'll see. We'll see what he does.
I'm assuming 35 was his idea, right? The nature of the short notice?
Yeah, because I wanted to do it at 35. I mean at 25, but trying to make a matchup. So the guy asked, he said that he couldn't make weight, and that's fine. If you can't make weight, can you make 35? He said he can make 35, so we'll do it at 35.
All right, Matt, I'll ask you a couple more questions before I let you go, and I appreciate your time. Is there a certain way you envision the matchup with Bontorin going down? Do you have a prediction?
I could see me fighting him for 15 minutes. He's a tough guy. He's going to come in off the heels of 2 losses. I think he's going to come in motivated. I think early on he's going to try and put a lot of pressure on me and push into me and hurt me and put me on my back foot. But he may find that it's more difficult, especially at 35. It doesn't seem like it would, but an extra 5-6 pounds that I walk in there with does make a difference. And he should beware. You try and step on me too hard, you might step on something that hurts. And I can see it going in many different ways, but every way I see it, it's me winning. So I feel good about things. I know he's tough. I know he's going to bring it, but so am I.
And I know flyweight's kind of wide open at this point. Where do you feel like a win over Bontorin will put you?
That's the thing about it. It doesn't really put me much of anywhere, but I'm trying to stay active. I want to fight this guy. I want to fight. So we're going to go out and sort it out. But I don't know. I still think that probably the Alex Perez fight is the fight to make if I'm if I can get past Bontorin. And that's what's so great about the flyweight division. It is wide open because it could be Alex Perez, it could be Kai Kara France, it could be Brandon Royval, it could be who knows. But we got to get past Bontorin first, so that's the priority.
Absolutely. And next month is the championship fight, the rematch between Brandon Moreno and Deiveson Figueiredo. How do you see that one playing out?
I think Brandon Moreno gets it done. I think Brandon Moreno makes the adjustments and gets it done. Yeah. He stays in great shape. He stays training. He's been in there. He's felt it now. I think he makes the adjustment and he gets it done. So Brandon Moreno.
Oh, gotcha. And I know you were a castmate of his on The Ultimate Fighter. Did you get a chance to kind of train with him or talk to him much when you were there?
He brought me out to Mexico City when he was preparing for Sergio Pettis, and I went out to Mexico City and took a 6-week beat down from him. So, Brandon Moreno is the real deal. And, that after that trip, I went on a 4-fight streak. So I used it and took it and created a lot of momentum off of it. So Brandon's my boy. I root for that guy, and he's tough. I know he can get it done.
Awesome stuff. Well, Matt, I really appreciate you taking some time. Best of luck in the commentary gig, and best of luck in your fight at UFC 262.
Thank you, Farah.